But let me be clear. This entire situation is unacceptable.
America, a Democrat governor stood at a podium in New Jersey and admitted something that Republicans got called liars for saying for 4 straight years. 6,600 non-citizens on voter rolls. Almost 400 of them voted. That's the setup, and here's the twist. The same governor confirming it is also the one blocking the federal government from checking her math.
You decide in New Jersey now, where a software error in the state's motor vehicle commission system accidentally registered more than 6,500 non-U.S. citizens to vote over a year. This is according to Democratic Governor Mikie Sherrill. And Jill, hundreds were then able to cast ballots in elections.
Yeah, Governor Mikie Sherrill, she says that she's appalled by the reckless failures after learning that the Motor Vehicle Commission software error. She says her chief counsel has been called on to launch the investigation. New Jersey Republican Assemblyman Paul Canitra called this a dark day in New Jersey's election history.
What is up, guys? Tyson Dela Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Governor Mikie Sherrill got up this week and said the quiet part out loud. Between June 2023 and June 2024, New Jersey Motor Vehicles Commission registered 6,600 non-citizens to vote. The system asked people applying for a license if they wanted to register. Some of them said no. And some of them told the machine straight up that they weren't citizens. And the software, get this, the software registered them anyways. Fewer than 400 people actually voted. Sherrill calls it a small number. Okay, Miss Sherrill. I call it 400 votes that should have never even existed. These people actually cast their vote in real elections and counted right alongside yours.
Hi, just a quick question for you. I know you're vehemently opposed to the Save America Act, but does the recent revelation in New Jersey with the aliens who are actually registered to vote change your opinion on getting that legislation passed?
Look, it is already illegal for someone who's not an American citizen to vote, period.
But
That's
there's
the
at
law.
least 400 aliens that did vote.
There are already laws to prevent that.
do you think
And if
anything's gonna
people
happen?
have violated the law, then they should be prosecuted.
Do you think
Easy.
anything's actually going to
Easy.
happen? I thought Democrats always said that there's no evidence of
I
illegals
don't
voting.
understand why you want laws that are already there. That
they're not
makes
being-
no sense.
But I thought Democrats said illegals never vote, but obviously they do, right? Thank you, Senator.
I worked a shift where I had to double check my own paycheck cleared before I actually paid my rent. I know how it feels when the system it's supposed to work quietly doesn't. This is the same exact feeling, except your vote instead of your bank account, obviously, right? And here, my friends, where it gets very, very interesting. The vendor behind this glitch is a company called Idiom, based out of Virginia. New Jersey is apparently already moving to replace them. That's confirmed. That's not a rumor. This is based on what Sherrill said. This didn't happen under Sherrill's watch. It happened under Governor Phil Murphy from June 2023 to June 2024. She's clearing out somebody else's mess and still taking a victory lap for actually finding out the situation. But this is leading into something significantly deeper.
Because they're trying to defraud the system. They might have cast a ballot because they just weren't aware that they were incorrectly put on the voter roll.
They weren't aware that they weren't a citizen of the United States?
No,
They
but the question
said in
is,
this instance that they weren't citizens. They were still
is
registered.
this accurately described as fraud when none of these people tried to register to vote?
Yes, they cast ballots. 400 of them cast ballots. They had to actively go do that. I assume no one voted in their name. Maybe they did. I don't know. But they actively cast a ballot. Did they not?
What I want to, but
An illegal alien gets put on the rolls, however they got there, and cast a ballot.
I mean, but you acknowledge
voter fraud to me.
that some people might actually be confused, because this has come up in courts before, where some people who are ineligible to vote are not aware that they're ineligible to vote.
A New Jersey assemblyman said the discovery landed the exact same time that the Homeland Security was already circling New Jersey voter rolls. That, my friends, is obviously not a coincidence. Now I'm going to give it to you straight. Sherrill's team said none of these 400 voters swayed a single race. And right now, that's hard to prove that they're wrong about that specific claim. But at that exact same press conference, she refused to hand over New Jersey voter data over to DHS, claiming that the Trump administration will, quote unquote, weaponize it. So she confirmed that the fraud is actually happening in New Jersey. And in the same breath, at the same press conference, blocks the people from trying to verify how far it goes. Because if 400 people are voting, how many other people didn't get caught?
We've identified 250,000 non-citizens registered to vote in just 4 states. Mind you, we have 46 other states. And just 4 states, we've identified 250,000 non-citizens registered to vote. We will be proactively looking at early voting, and then after post-election, we will continue to scrub all those that did vote. Those states that don't participate with us, they have public records of those that voted, which is where we found the 250,000 from the 4 states that don't participate with us. We will go through those records one by one, and we will pursue everybody.
New Jersey isn't the only name on that list. Nevada is on it too, my state.
Registered to vote in California and Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Nevada.
Secretary of State there in Nevada said, as Nevada's chief elections officer, it is my job to call balls and strikes. So when the president lies, I am obligated to call him out. The facts have not changed. Nevada's elections are among the safest, most secure, and accessible in the nation.
Nevada's own Secretary of State went on record calling the president a liar over these numbers the same week that New Jersey's own governor admitted the exact thing Nevada is denying is even possible. It's not possible, they said. 2 blue states, same week, 2 different answers to the same exact question. Okay, Sherrill names a number. Nevada denies a number altogether. Neither one of those states hand over a full list, admitting just enough to, quote unquote, look transparent, then block the part that would actually prove any situation, one or the other.
Now to the threat lobbed at Pennsylvania's Secretary of State today by the Trump administration. Comply, they say, or face possible arrest.
Secretary Mullen even sent letters to those states. We've obtained the letter sent to Pennsylvania Secretary of State Al Schmidt, a Republican, who agreed to talk to us today.
Now, the secretary claims that there may be more than 14,576 non-citizens registered in Pennsylvania. Is he right?
The Department of Homeland Security has not shared the list. It has not shared its methodology. So it's hard to speak to the credibility of it.
According to the letter, DHS compared publicly available voter data against internal data on non-citizens to reach those numbers.
And Pennsylvania's Secretary of State won't hand it over either. DHS is threatening to pull federal election funding from states that stonewall. 4 states, same non-answer, same silence on the actual full list. Here's what this costs you directly. Every non-citizen vote that gets counted cancels out a vote from somebody that actually earned the right to cast a vote. You, me, your neighbor, the guy who just got back from deployment and mailed in his ballot from overseas or whatever the situation is. Local elections in this county get decided by a couple hundred votes every single time. New Jersey, they just told you that 400 illegal votes happened in one state alone and admitted that they don't even know how many more it could be because they don't even want to check. They're asking you to trust the number that they gave you while refusing to prove that number that they gave you.
That's breaking news. Mikie Sherrill.
Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah, they disclosed it. They're going to fix it.
6,600.
With laws that they have on the books.
Yeah.
6,600 individuals didn't vote illegally.
That's not for certain. I mean, they're registered, so they could if they wanted to, right?
But there's an independent investigation that New Jersey has initiated, and so far the proof shows that a very, very, very small fraction voted illegally, and they have discovered this and they're going to continue investigating it. And I think like the point that for a very small percentage of error, we have error in every system. We have fraud in every system. There's a lot of fraud coming out of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. To make it more difficult for the vast majority of Americans to vote because of a very small percentage of error and fraud is not popular. It's not popular amongst the American people, and it's basically a poll tax.
But that's an admission that a small percentage of illegals are voting, right? Thank you, Congresswoman.
This clip is absolutely amazing. A sitting congresswoman just told a reporter on a sidewalk on a camera that a small fraction of illegals vote. Not zero, just a small fraction of illegals vote. That's not a talking point anymore. That is an absolute admission. America, they spent 4 years telling you that this wasn't real. Illegals aren't voting. Now the same party is standing in front of cameras admitting that it happened in the same exact sentence, on the same podium, in the same week, hiding the paperwork that should show you exactly how bad that it is. That's not an accident. That is a strategy. That is a strategy that these blue states are running. A congresswoman calls it a small fraction while calling the fix for it a poll tax. Okay, pick one. You can't call something real and call cure for it oppression in the same breath. My friends, they didn't get caught lying. They got caught telling the truth by accident. And now they're scrambling to make sure that nobody checks their work. Let me know what you think about this. Drop it down in the comment section down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe. And as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.